Everything changed 1 month ago when a mysterious gray fog covered the entire world and brought eternal darkness. Suddenly giant green vines appeared out of nowhere to destroy buildings and cause total chaos in the city. Looking absolutely terrified, this man can only scream while the monster plants wrap around his body. Trying to escape the same fate, a woman gets caught by the thorns and dragged into the shadows. Only 1 in 10 million people survived the fog, and those lucky few changed into something completely different. Standing their ground, 3 muscular fighters face a mysterious threat that glows with an intense purple light. Emerging from the flames, a massive demonic cat with glowing red eyes stares down its next group of victims. Realizing the danger, the leader shouts for his team to surround the beast before it can make a move. Obeying the command, the group gets into position while preparing to launch a strike on the creature. Charging up his special power, one of the warriors sets his fist on fire to deliver a heavy blow. Shattering the ground, the massive beast jumps through the air while dodging every incoming attack. Roaring with fury, the monster lunges forward and opens its mouth to show how dangerous it really is. Swiping its huge paw, the cat sends one of the fighters flying and proves that its strength is on another level. Sliding across the concrete, the hero struggles to keep his balance after witnessing that insane power. Trembling with fear, the survivors realize they underestimated the demon while more vines start to close in. Suddenly a bright light blinds our guy as he screams in terror while something crazy happens. Looking outside, he sees a thick fog reaching the 22nd floor while monsters roam the streets. Since his time is running out, the young man watches the gray mist from his high window. Floating nearby, a tiny system fairy reminds him that he must find a goddess to activate his power. With hands on his head, he wonders where to find a beautiful girl in this empty wasteland. Hearing a sudden knock on the wood, he gets excited, thinking his lucky break has finally arrived. Toward the entrance, the boy walks slowly while wondering if the person outside is his savior. Peeking through the small hole, he spots what looks like a curvy lady wearing some flashy clothes. Because he thinks he hit the jackpot today, the protagonist starts breathing very heavily. Imagining a total babe in silk stockings, he feels like his life is about to get much better. With a loud click, he turns the handle and prepares to welcome his new guest into the home. Opening the entrance with a huge smile, he greets the guest while the small spirit watches. After seeing the person outside, his face twists with horror at the unexpected sight. Standing there is a giant woman named Fanfang who looks nothing like the girl of his dreams. Even though she wants to enter, the companion warns that this female fails the system test. Looking at the door, the woman shouts in anger, but the protagonist inside just calls her a scammer and tells her to go away. Pounding on the door, she screams for everyone to gather while accusing the man of being a fake who only wants pretty girls. Snapping his fingers, the young man creates a digital display of all the supplies he has stored in his room. Capturing a photo of the snacks and drinks, he prepares to show everyone that he actually has plenty of food. Sending the image to a group chat, the guy offers a place to stay for any beautiful girl who needs food and safety. Meanwhile, another man stares at the screen and smiles with a weird look as he sees the message about the supplies. Gathering outside the room, the people threaten the protagonist by mentioning that a strong fighter will soon break the door. Relaxing on his comfortable sofa, the master of the room ignores the noise outside and waits for a response. Suddenly the phone vibrates and the guy looks at the screen with surprise because someone just messaged him. Realizing it is his former girlfriend, the protagonist wonders why the girl who dumped him for being poor is now calling. After replying to the message, the young man demands a natural photo without any filters to prove she is actually pretty. Sipping his wine, the character notices a new notification while his little system assistant flies around him. Spitting out his drink in total shock, the boy cannot believe the amazing picture that just appeared on his screen. Visibly showing a very attractive woman, the system calculates her stats and gives her a high score of 9.5. Flying with joy, the little fairy confirms that the beauty is perfect and meets every single requirement of the system. Looking at his screen, the protagonist sees the goddess affection reached 70 and he quickly chooses to bind her. Glowing brightly, the system confirms the bond and grants a 100 times multiplier for all his future supplies. Standing in his room, the boy learns his base is rank D, which means weak monsters cannot even touch his special home. Excitedly, he realizes the building protects him from the harsh world while the tiny fairy flies around his head. Holding his phone, the guy tells the girl her audit passed and gives her the exact address of his secret floor. Sitting on the sofa, the woman explains she is trapped on the 24th floor because the thick fog is spreading. Mentioning her younger sibling, the lady hopes they both can find safety since the girl just turned 18 years old. Grinning widely, the hero calls this a double blessing and asks for a natural photo of the sister to prove her beauty. Staring at the screen, the dark-haired beauty stays silent as she processes the strange request from the survivor. Waving her hand, the woman calls for Xianxia to come over while the younger girl looks very confused by the order. Holding a pillow, the little sister enters the room and asks why she was summoned so late in the evening. Pulling the girl close, the older sibling explains they must take a selfie so they can finally move and eat well. Shying away, the younger one blushes but decides to trust her sister because they really need a safe place to live. Buzzing loudly on the table, the device receives a new message while the protagonist waits for the evidence. Checking the screen, the boy examines the sent photo of the two girls and prepares for his next big move. Looking at the screen, the system shows two girls with high scores, including a 10 for character and a 9 for appearance. Hearing about a sick girl from his fairy friend, the hero wonders if that was the reason for his past struggles. Sending a quick message, he tells the girl to wait at room 2403 because he is coming now. Ready for action, the protagonist stands tall while wearing his cool black suit as he prepares for the next mission. Outside the massive building, strange green vines start to crawl up the walls and create a very creepy atmosphere. Walking through the hallway, the young man stays alert as his little green companion flies right next to him for support. Peeking out from behind a door, the boy checks the long corridor to make sure no enemies are hiding nearby in the dark. Holding his heavy sword and a sturdy shield, he finally reaches the door numbered 3203. Assuring him that everything is safe, the fairy tells the fighter to move forward since there is no immediate danger. Opening the exit door, he heads toward the stairs while carrying his weapons to stay protected during the descent. Creeping away from the room, the hero does not notice the angry woman watching him from the shadows with a mean look. Screaming in rage, the lady shouts that she will take all the supplies once the guy dies out there in the cold. Pressing the buttons on the screen, the neighbor quickly changes the security code so the boy can never get back inside. Hurrying down to the 24th floor, the warrior calls out for the girl to open the door because he arrived. Opening the door slowly, the silver-haired woman looks surprised to see the young man standing right in front of her. Looking completely terrified, the girl screams for the hero to be careful because something dangerous is coming. Suddenly, a giant purple cat monster lunges forward from the shadows with its claws glowing and ready to strike. Using his shield, the boy blocks the powerful hit from the mutant beast while trying to protect his friend. Because of the heavy impact, they both struggle to stay on their feet as they are pushed near the entrance. Roaring with anger, the massive predator prepares another strike with its sharp claws aimed right at the fighter. Moving quickly, the woman grabs the guy and pulls him inside the building before the creature can reach them. After slamming the door shut just in time, they manage to block the path of the monster that was chasing them. Outside the room, the purple beast lets out a frustrated cry because it lost its prey behind the metal barrier. While standing in the living room, a small girl mentions how scary that giant animal was to the tired adults. Feeling a bit shy, the main character blushes while looking at the companion who just saved him from the danger. Apologizing for the trouble, the lady says she has no food left and feels bad for dragging him into this mess. Concerned about their survival, the nervous duo wonders how they will manage now that they are stuck inside alone. With his special digital powers, the protagonist starts to manifest some goods out of thin air to help them out. Handing over a bag full of canned beef, he tells them to eat while they plan their escape to a safer location. Finally, a small fairy says his favorability reached 35 and he quickly decides to bind his soul with her. Crying with joy, the young man sees the system finally working and giving him hundreds of food items for survival. Just as the clock hits 12, a loud sound echoes through the city and signals a big change for everyone. The screen says the first round ended and a new disaster of extreme heat will begin in only 10 minutes. While the technology stops working, the system gives the survivors a special bracelet to help them stay alive. Looking confused, the group wonders what this doomsday judgment is and why everything is changing so fast. They notice the new devices on their wrists and the guy finds an extra one meant just for him. Outside, the sky turns bright orange because multiple suns appear and start burning the entire world. The girl points at the window where giant vines grow and massive insects fly around the tall buildings. A huge mutated rat comes out of the ground looking for food, but things get scary very quickly. Suddenly a massive thorn grabs the animal and lifts it high into the air as it struggles to escape. Seeing the creature get crushed, the protagonist realizes they need a system shelter to survive the plants. Sitting on the floor, the trio starts to sweat because the air is getting very heavy and hot. The temperature goes over 40 degrees and the little girl tries to eat a popsicle to stop the heat. Realizing they will cook if they stay, the young man stands up and says it is time to find a cooler place. He checks the door to see the mutant cat is gone and tells the girls they must leave the room right now. Looking very surprised, the young man cannot believe what he is hearing right now. Standing there are two beautiful girls who seem very excited to go somewhere with him. Blushing like crazy, the protagonist shouts that they should go back to his house immediately. Suddenly a massive purple cat starts chasing them through the hallway while they run for their lives. Attacking with its giant claws, the creature is getting way too close to the group. Running toward room number 3203, the boy wonders why that beast is still here. Reaching the door panel, he quickly tries to type the code while sweating from the pressure. Letting out a terrifying sound, the monster looms over them in the middle of the corridor. Opening its mouth wide, the predator prepares to strike just as they reach the entrance. Screaming in pure panic, the hero sees that the password is wrong and he has no idea how that is possible.